It looks like Kyle Rittenhouse is doing another speaking engagement on a university campus, this time at the University of Memphis, and not everybody is happy about it. So this is supposed to take place on March 20th at 7 p.m. It's being sponsored by Turning Point USA, which has sponsored his other appearance at Eastern Tennessee State University that took place last month. And of course, because Kyle Rittenhouse was on campus, there was carnage everywhere. The bodies were stacking up by the hundreds. The blood flowed into the streets. Seriously, nothing happened. Nobody was hurt. There wasn't even a scuffle. But that doesn't stop everybody from just going ape shit over this. And one of those is Tami Sawyer,
University of Memphis alumni, students, faculty, and staff, and Memphians.
I never heard of that before. Memphians.
Here's the contact info for U of Memphis President Bill Hardgrave and his chief of staff. Let him know how you feel about Kyle Rittenhouse speaking at our school.
Oh, I didn't know it was your school. And there's his contact information. Hey, I don't care how you feel about Kyle. And you know, I have my misgivings about some of the things he's done. But however you feel, he has a right to speak at the university. And if people want to hear it, they can. I would highly recommend that you email Dr. Hardgrave and tell him that you feel that Kyle Rittenhouse should be allowed to speak. And by the way, don't lace it with a whole bunch of, Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. He's innocent. He's not interested in hearing that. The email to him is not a time to try to debate the Kenosha shootings. This is about free speech. Don't try to convince Dr. Hardgrave that Kyle's a good dude, because that's not the issue. Just say, hey, I hear that Kyle Rittenhouse is coming to campus. Whether you like him or not, he offers an interesting perspective, and admire the fact that the University of Memphis is giving him the opportunity to speak. Okay? Oh, I know what you're going to do. I know what you're going to do. Kyle Rittenhouse was attacked first, and they were pedophiles, and whatever. But back to Tami. On Twitter, she says,
my message to President Hardgrave regarding Kyle Rittenhouse's event.
Like it's an event. Why put it in quotation marks?
At U of Memphis is urgently requesting he speak out against the event and or remove it from campus.
Oh, we're going to talk about Tami in a moment here. It's going to get fun. But first, let's read her message. Okay, I turned my webcam off so that I can read the actual email. I can't see through them sunglasses. Here we go.
Good morning, President Hardgrave. I hope this email finds you well. Upon your tenure announcement, several Black leaders, including myself, expressed concerns regarding your commitment to diversity, particularly the safety and progress of Black students.
I guess other students don't matter.
You assured us that you took our concerns seriously, emphasizing the need for inclusivity and safety for all.
I don't think the for all really applies here. You mean for some.
Regrettably, it appears that you have not upheld this promise. It distresses me to learn that Kyle Rittenhouse, notorious for injuring and killing protesters during a civil rights action and propagating anti-Black rhetoric.
What? Where in the hell is she getting that? Well, you guys know. She pulled it out of her ass.
Is scheduled to speak on campus.
Oh, the horrors. Somebody is going to come to campus and speak.
Presenting his event as a 2A right speech at a time when students fear for their lives due to gun violence nationwide is reprehensible.
Oh, so in other words, because there's gun violence, only one side in the 2A debate is allowed to speak. That's essentially what she's saying here.
Moreover, his intent to attack civil rights work only exacerbates the situation.
Well, he never attacked civil rights work, and I think that the Second Amendment is a part of civil rights.
This is not freedom of speech.
Oh, well, I guess we can all go home, guys. I mean, I thought that this was a freedom of speech issue, but Tami says it's not, so I guess it's not.
Dr. Hargrave, it is malicious programming that fosters hateful rhetoric and actions towards black students.
Okay, I suppose that your rhetoric doesn't foster hate at all, huh, Tami?
As a double alumna of the University of Memphis,
Personally, I really don't care if you have graduated from there or not, whatever.
I am deeply disappointed. As a community member and leader, I am outraged.
I hate it when people call themselves community leaders.
I urgently request that you and the school respond by either canceling the event or publicly denouncing its intentions.
This is a public institution. Either of those is a violation of Kyle Rittenhouse's right to free speech.
Ideally, both actions should be taken. There is no place for such hateful, violent rhetoric in Memphis.
She doesn't even know what he's going to tell anybody yet. Kyle already presented at Eastern Tennessee State University, and I don't recall anything hateful coming out of his mouth.
Especially not on the campus where my mother and 108 other students were arrested for advocating equality and inclusion.
Well, they obviously were not arrested for advocating for the right to free speech, were they?
Please uphold your promise and ensure the University of Memphis is safe for all, including its 40% black student population. Sincerely, Tami Sawyer.
So, let's talk a little bit about Tami Sawyer. The headline says a lot here. Tami Sawyer apologizes for offensive tweets unearthed in Memphis mayoral race. Oh, wait. She's spewing hateful rhetoric? She says here, I am not just deeply ashamed, but deeply sorry for those tweets. Yeah, well, you wrote them and you hit the submit button. Sawyer said in response to the controversial posts, which included anti-LGBTQ language. Oh no! And there she is. Memphis, Tennessee mayoral candidate Tami Sawyer has apologized for a number of old tweets. Oh, they're really old though, which included ones using language that disparaged members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. And she wrote, we had a teacher that was a closeted lesbian, decided it was our duty to out her. Oh no! Oh, she quit after a semester. Oh my God, read this. Pound symbol, Mean Girls, POC prep chat. I guess it's POC, persons of color prep chat. Oh my God. I mean, seriously, that's worse than I was expecting. I thought that she would just make some comment like, using the word gay or something like that. But no, she outed a lesbian. In another instance, when a Twitter user said they didn't know whether to dap up or hug butch lesbians, Sawyer replied, I just wave at them from a distance, LOL. You gotta be kidding me. Sawyer is a 37-year-old activist, well, we know what she's not been an activist for, who was the public face of the movement to take down Memphis's Confederate monuments in 2017. Sawyer would be the first woman and third black person ever elected as mayor if she wins the October 3rd election. She didn't win. She is running as the most progressive candidate in the race. Yeah, she sounds really progressive there, making the revelation of the tweets especially sting. In several other tweets, Sawyer used the term retarded, writing in 2013, for example, I love that fool, but he is retarded. The R word. I might have to bleep that out. Sawyer addressed the controversy in a Medium post on Saturday, saying that while some of the tweets were dishonestly taken out of context to smear her, oh yeah, right. We'll have to go back here and take a look at this one. Let's see. We had a teacher that was a closeted lesbian, decided it was our duty to out her. She quit after a semester. Yeah, what's the context for that one there, Tammy? I would love to hear that. I mean, I love that fool, but he is retarded. What's the context that rescues you from that one? Okay, here we go. She said she had changed since the time she wrote those tweets as a 20-something living in DC who was striving for a career, making a difference for others, but obviously not LGBTQ, but was also preoccupied with myself, my own story, and having fun with friends. Whoa, okay, well, she was just having fun, right? Okay. From her post, there are tweets that show a woman. Oh, so she's going to describe herself in the third person here. This is that distancing, right? Like, these tweets describe some lady who was, not me, making these statements. There are tweets that show a woman who, at that point, still hadn't come to terms with her homophobia, who still wasn't standing up and being a voice for all. Oh, come on. Who still wasn't standing up and being a voice for all, regardless of ability. I am not just deeply ashamed, but deeply sorry for those tweets, the harm they caused at the time, and the harm that seeing them now will still bring up, especially for members of those communities and for all of us. Hey, Tammy, I have a question for you. Suppose that somebody was applying for a job at a company you owned and you found those tweets in their past. Would you be willing to accept this apology? No, especially if he's white. It is clear that I have not always been the person. Oh, I'm not even going to read this crap. I can't believe that people buy this bullshit. Earlier this month, Sawyer also apologized for a 2009 tweet mocking a grieving pet owner. And they took it down. I want to show you. I want to be clear that I have grown significantly in the last 10 years and would not have this response to anything similar, meme or otherwise, today. I am sorry that I shared that view in 2009, and I'm sorry it's causing hurt today for people. Well, no, it's actually causing a lot of humor. We're having a lot of fun with it, Tammy. Don't worry about that. Noting that she had recently adopted a stray cat. Oh, I see. You made fun of somebody who lost their pet, and to make up for that, you adopted a cat of your own. So a few more tweets here. Black History Month tweet, but Kyle Rittenhouse allowed on campus. Make it make sense. Jason, I didn't shoot 3 people after I left my home and crossed state lines because I was angry at black people. Yeah, she actually wrote that. And that is her reason for not wanting Kyle on campus. Well informed there, Tammy. She asks, what are you recapping, Kyle? How to kill people and get away with it? How to grift your way into fame by being racist? Oh, look who's talking. Oh my God. Do tell. You of Memphis, this is despicable. If B. Hargrave doesn't stop this,
I will know the letter I sent concerned about his history at Auburn U was right.
So Tami Sawyer is not wanting free speech at the University of Memphis. We have somebody who's coming to campus who is a polarizing figure, very controversial. And he wants to talk about his experience and especially his political views on free speech and the Second Amendment. And she's trying to stop it. She doesn't want any of that. Now, you may be wondering, like, what is her background? Like, she is a double alumna of the University of Memphis. Well, what did she study? Oh, get ready. So here's her Wikipedia entry. And I'll skip all this. As of 2020, Sawyer is a graduate student at the University of Memphis seeking a master's degree in rhetorical communications. She got her degree, by the way. You have to be kidding me. This is the absolute antithesis of rhetorical communication. She's trying to squelch free speech at a public institution, and she has a master's degree in rhetorical communication. You can't make this up. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.